Jake Paul is currently doing well for himself, especially considering the unique path he's taken in the boxing world. But when he faces a real, seasoned fighter, things could change. Many have questioned his matchups, as he's mostly been facing MMA fighters, many of whom are past their prime. But Jake has managed to shine in these bouts. Subscribe to Glove Goals for more boxing content and hit the bell for all the latest updates. Floyd Mayweather recently commented on the much-anticipated Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, and his take was as unexpected as you might think. Although Mayweather and Paul aren't exactly on the best of terms, with a long-standing conflict between the two, Floyd Mayweather made a comment on the matchup, though not necessarily in support of it. Meanwhile, fans were concerned after Tyson experienced health issues on a flight, reportedly feeling dizzy and nauseous from an ulcer flare-up. However, Tyson reassured everyone that he was fine and ready for the fight. What did Floyd Mayweather say about the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight? The much-hyped fight was streamed live Netflix, filling AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, with a sold-out crowd. Fans were eagerly anticipating the showdown, but the event didn't quite go as they had envisioned. While the fight promised chaos, it delivered more of a Netflix-style bizarre moment than an actual professional boxing match, complete with buffering issues, miscommunications, and even a brief moment when Tyson's backside was shown. And that was only the undercard. Jake Paul made his grand entrance in a green convertible with his older brother Logan, while Tyson kept it old school, casually walking down to the ring at 58 years old. But amidst all the theatrics, what fans really wanted to see was the fight itself. They didn't care about the cars or the endless commercials. They were hoping for a legendary showdown. Some were even hoping Tyson would walk out with his usual gangster mentality, just ready to box. While it wasn't that simple, there was still hope that Tyson, despite his age, would defy expectations.
And now they're finally walking out. It's all this theatrical stuff that's happening right now. I just want to see these guys fight. I don't care about your car. I don't care about 30 minutes of commercials. I hope Mike Tyson walks out like a G. Like a praying he just walks out like, I'm here to box. Now, I'm not saying Mike Tyson can't win. I'm just saying, we'll see. Maybe he's going to defy age. Round one. Fucking Mike Tyson. Holy shit. Holy f. Okay, that right hand though, 2 minutes is not long enough. 2 minutes is very, very quick.
Tyson came out strong in the first 2 rounds, channeling the ferocity of his youth. But by the later rounds, the effects of age were apparent. Paul, at 27 years old, began to find his rhythm and didn't land any knockout blows, but used sharp jabs and counters to rack up points. After 8 rounds, which were only 2 minutes long, the judges unanimously declared Paul the winner. The crowd, however, was less than thrilled, booing as the fight came to a close, feeling more like a sparring session than an actual battle. Despite winning, Paul didn't seem to enjoy the victory fully. His victory wasn't exactly thrilling, and watching a visibly fatigued Tyson struggle in the ring left fans feeling conflicted. In the end, the two fighters embraced in a show of mutual respect.
But let's say he would call you to fight. Would you take it?
Yeah, Jake and I actually talk. He's an all right guy. There was a time we were talking about fighting each other, and I think if this arrest didn't happen, it probably would have come to fruition. We'll see what happens in the future. We'll see. Perhaps. It's possible. There's nothing's no. Nothing's yes. We'll see. I'll escape this Matrix attack, and perhaps if he needs to be taught a lesson, I'll be the guy to teach him a lesson.
Imagine, like a main event, like Hasbullah on one side, you and Jake on the other. It's a tag team match.
Tag team, me and Hasbullah against Logan and Jake.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's about fair.
Oh, yeah.
No, but Jake's an okay guy. He's putting boxing on the map. To be fair to him, to be fair to the guy, he can sell tickets.
Yes.
And it's amazing what we were talking earlier about sales.
Yeah.
Nobody, and this is with all due respect, nobody should give a shit about watching a 60-year-old fight a 27-year-old. But Jake can make them care.
Yeah.
And because he can make them care, he gets paid more than most boxers will ever make in their entire careers for one fight.
Good.
So yeah, Andrew Tate had to drop it in. I can possibly come and teach him a lesson is what he has said. This was their face-off, and there was a lot of hype for this fight.
Why were fans disappointed with the fight's outcome despite Jake Paul's victory? Mike Tyson, once one of the most feared boxers in history, was barely recognizable in the ring. Sure, there were moments when the old Iron Mike peeked through. Other time had caught up with him. Tyson struggled to land punches, managing just 18 out of 97 attempts, while Paul, in peak physical condition, landed 78 out of 278. Tyson wore a knee brace and moved slowly, clearly outmatched by the younger Paul. If you're not subscribed to Glove Goals, do you even like boxing? Hit that bell for all the latest updates. The fight was hardly a fair contest, and reports indicated Tyson may have been suffering from a leg injury during the fight. While he showed determination and avoided taking too much damage, it was clear that he was no longer the powerhouse he once was. Jake Paul, for his part, demonstrated that he had matured as a boxer, though his critics were quick to point out that defeating Tyson, who hadn't fought professionally in nearly 2 decades and was 58 years old, wasn't exactly a true test of his abilities. As the fight ended, the question on everyone's mind was whether Tyson would return to the ring again. This was his first professional fight since 2005, and while he had taken part in an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020, this was a whole different level. Fans were heartbroken seeing their hero struggle, but at the same time, they admired his bravery. Tyson's legendary reputation didn't translate into success this time. What did fans question after seeing Mike Tyson struggle in the fight against Jake Paul? Jake Paul, for all his different approach in boxing, walked away with his 11th professional win. His journey has been full of controversial bouts, mostly against MMA fighters and lesser-known boxers. But after this win over Tyson, Paul is now aiming for bigger challenges, even hinting at a future fight with Canelo Alvarez. In an interview, Jake Paul admitted that while he tried his best to make the fight exciting, it was difficult when his opponent wasn't engaging. Jake didn't mind the criticism. He knew people would always have something to say. The fight took place at the home of the Dallas Cowboys, with over 72,000 fans and a star-studded crowd. It was more than just a fight, it was the collision of 2 very different eras of boxing. For Tyson, it might have been the final chapter of his professional boxing career, but for Paul, it was just another step on his journey to establish himself in the sport. Jake Paul now has a win over one of the greatest heavyweights of all time on his resume, but that victory is doubted by questions about whether it was a fair challenge. Tyson, despite his age, still had the heart and toughness that made him a legend. But the fight clearly showed that age takes its toll. The question now is what's next for Jake Paul. Many are tired of him facing retired legends and MMA fighters. It's time for him to face a legitimate, top-tier boxer in his prime. Only then will we see if Jake Paul can truly prove himself as a serious boxer. What is the next challenge Jake Paul should face to prove himself as a serious boxer? Should boxing be about legacy or entertainment? Tell us your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Glove Goals, bringing you the most dramatic and electrifying stories in boxing. See you next time.